One.
And hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Five at the Back. So typically, the introduction is by Charles or Skiff, and both of those are bottled out today. So today you have the guest presenter, which is me, Christian. I am joined by Jen, Eric, Scott, Skiff, and Sir Charles. So, hey, everybody, how's it going?
Good.
Great.
Very good.
Awesome. Did you call me Sir Childs?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I was going to call you Sir Charles Busby, but...
But like Lawton Childs,
right.
Former governor.
Yeah, but...
Sure.
All right. So for those who are new to the podcast, we have a Twitter account. And that Twitter account is what, Jen?
At 5ATB.
And we also have a new YouTube channel. And I'm not sure what that is. So I think Scott knows what it's called. What's it called, Scott?
Ooh, I should know, but I don't.
Wow.
Skiff.
Somebody's been doing their research for this podcast. I'm glad you're on top of it.
I'm just the talent, I don't know anything about it. I don't know the login. It's something about Demba Ba, right? Or
how do we tell Scott?
All right. So
it's the same as our Twitter. We made it easy. It's all the same login too. So
what is the YouTube channel? Seriously.
5ATB.
5ATB.
Okay.
Literally the same as our Twitter.
5ATB. I don't
like I
to
just
assume.
said.
Yeah, I don't like to assume.
So for those of you who are listening thinking, so why is the guest presenting this show this week? That is why, because nobody else knows what they're doing. So
you're not a guest though. At this point,
so much so that the guest doesn't know he's not a guest anymore.
Right.
You're like the uncle that moved in and never moved out.
I know. It always went, so I said to my wife today, like, oh, I'm not going to join them. And then with about 5 minutes to go, I was like, oh, I bet they'll miss me if I don't. So here I am.
We would, 100%.
Uncle Christian's here.
All right, so the wild week continues, you guys. How's the story moving on? What's occurring?
I feel like a nuclear bomb went on earlier this week. It went off, and we've just been in the fallout shelter the whole week, just like watching the radiation from the bomb like come out, and it's just been a crazy week, like insane, with the supporters clubs coming out and saying this is awful, new rules changes being proposed, the players uniting against the Super League or whatever they were calling it. And apparently there's still 3 members in. We have 3 founding members still in: Real, Barcelona, Juve, because according to Christian, they're all broke. So is the Super League dead? What contracts were signed? I want to see those contracts. I want to see what they signed.
What is it that Florentino Perez is calling it? Not postponement, but it's on hold, basically. It's a pause. It's not canceled. It's just, being thought about.
Delayed.
This feels like the people who stay at the bar or at the club like past its prime just to say that they shut the place down, like to brag to their friends the next day that they shut it down, even though everybody had already left a half an hour earlier.
Like the lights were on and everybody saw that they didn't want to be there with that person.
They're over there finishing someone else's empties off of a table, and they're gonna go home and brag to their friends about how they got so wasted.
Man, Skiff is like embarrassed right now.
No, dude, I never stayed out that late, man. I was not a late night owl drinker. That once they play that song "Closing Time," I'm out. So way before that.
9:30, 9:45.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is in Panama City, they don't like last call is like closer to like 4 or 5. And I remember first semester in Tallahassee and being like, what do you mean it's closed at 2? Like, what's going on? So that was a bit of an adjustment that closing time was that early.
So England is Tallahassee in this scenario, right? Closing time was at 2. All the English clubs are out.
That's when all the cool kids left.
Yeah. And some people apologized, some didn't. Some people don't care, and some do. Nobody cares, honestly. I'll stop pretending. But what's interesting is in Florentino Perez, he had an interview on live. I don't know if it was television or if it was online, but he is just so disconnected with reality. There is one point that I think he's he communicates it so poorly, but the world is changing and the younger demographic is consuming things differently. So I understand that he's saying that, but everything else about it is just so bad, right? Everything, literally everything else
Literally, like
is terrible.
Forgetting about the majority of the current fan base is it's an unheard of strategy that I've been like, basically he's walking in here and assuming that everybody that's already a fan is just going to fall in line. And how are you going to try and just turn off that many people?
Can I ask a question to you, Christian? I know that England, obviously, the fans are very passionate. You saw everything that happened, but in my perspective, or just talking out loud here, like Barcelona and Real, they're much more global teams, right? Like they appeal to a very global, not that United, Liverpool, et cetera, don't, but do they have the same local support and like local fan base that Liverpool, United, et cetera, have, or are they more of that national globalized team? And so their fans maybe didn't care as much, or they're just used to taking whatever, Real or Barcelona give them because there's not a whole lot of competition in the Spanish league besides Atletico. Just curious.
So it's hard to say. So I don't know the Spanish clubs as well as English clubs. But when Ronaldo was first thinking of moving to Real Madrid, Ferguson said, at Old Trafford you get 76,000 at every game, but at Real Madrid and Barcelona you don't. You may get half that, like back in the day, not now. So because they only fill up for the big games. So there's a lot of tourist fans who go to those clubs like they do with Old Trafford and at Anfield, right? They're world renowned. So I don't know. It seems to be a little bit different over there. I know a lot of the fans in Barcelona are saying, they attract the best players so they can beat the best in the world, and not teams like Granada and Eibar and teams like that. So.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things that I think is interesting is that even though there's, this exploded and there's fallout and that kind of stuff, like the problems that these teams face are like, they're still there. We expect, or we want our teams to be able to spend the money to buy the best so that they're competitive, but then where's that money going to come from? And I know later we're going to talk about different ownership options maybe in the future, but is this moving where we're in a direction where the only people that can legitimately own a club are people that have deep pockets like oil money?
Yeah, so we can skip ahead to that now. I think it's a great transition. For me, that's part of, I guess, the hard part of looking at this from the outside, right? Because Liverpool fans want it all. We want an owner who's connected with the local fan base. We want them to spend a bunch of money, and we want them to be like responsible, good owners, right? But you can't have all three. Like you really don't. Like it's really hard. Like, so say Liverpool sells, like who do Liverpool sell to? Who has enough money, and who do you want as your owner? Like, no offense, like to Saudi Arabia, but I don't want the crown prince of Saudi Arabia owning Liverpool. So like, who's better than FSG? Like, they've been good to the club. They saved them from debt. Like, I know they've done some bonehead things, like trying to trademark Liverpool, trying to increase the match prices. But overall, like, you could have Mike Ashley as your owner. Like, you could have Roman Abramovich. Like, he's a pretty shady guy, allegedly. Like, how do you get it all? I don't think that you do.
At this point, I don't know who you're going to get as an owner who's not going to look at it as some type of investment vehicle, or some group, some venture capitalist, some private equity, someone who's going to at worst expect it to be something they can invest in and not lose their hats. And with that, you're going to see people controlling cost, people driving revenue. The behavior is going to be the same for this at this point. We talked about the 50+1 and all that. It would just be a different person in the same seat. Nobody's going to buy it and, oh, this is my club. Like, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So I agree with you. There's all this about Enoch out. The Spurs fans are so stupid. Sorry, I'm not sorry. You guys are ridiculous. Daniel Levy has been a Spurs fan for a long time. Say what you want about Joe Louis. He's got his yacht and he lives in the Bahamas to avoid taxes, like whatever. That's the law. I don't really care. But who are you going to get? Like, it's not going to be anybody any better. I think Levy genuinely cares about the club. He pinches pennies, sure. I'd rather have that than somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. So I agree 100%. Where are you going to go?
Well, I don't disagree with what you guys are saying. I think that one of the major arguments and the things that hasn't really been expressed well by fans from any side is, I think that where a lot of the frustration comes from is this idea that the owners are going to come in and they're going to try and do nothing but maximize profits. They're going to prioritize making as much money as possible versus prioritizing the success of the club. And the idea behind the allure behind a fan centric ownership, a 50+1 situation, is that the idea that the fans might want to spend more time reinvesting the money that's made into the club rather than lining the owner's pockets with it. I mean, you talk about FSG coming in and wanting to trademark Liverpool, and I don't remember all of the things that they've done, but we come in with this idea that team ownership is so profitable that people come in there and they're expecting asinine profits out of it. I mean, the Glazers bought in 2005 and they've done nothing but draw money from Manchester United to finance other business ventures and pay down their other debts, and they've just left United in debt the entire time as a means to live their lavish lifestyle elsewhere. And that's extraordinarily frustrating. I mean, that's not to the fans, that's not ownership at all.
Using, yeah. I mean, like, but like, it's almost like you want a requirement, like there has to be some kind of like, I hate to use the word romantic, but there almost needs to be some kind of connection to the past and the greater majesty that is being a part of a team's legacy. I don't know. Maybe I'm being idealistic, but
I mean, that would be great if that were to happen, but you talk about FSG, like, they paid off all of Liverpool's debt. Like, Liverpool are hours away from going insolvent. Like, being insolvent, getting point deductions, potentially going down. They reinvested in a new training ground. They expanded Anfield. So it's not like they're not putting money into the team. It's not like they're not putting money into buying players, like investing in it. Like, yeah, it's an investment for them, but like, unfortunately, that's sports now, and that's sports ownership. I mean, I don't know how you can get around at that point if you want to keep up with Chelsea or Man City, who have unlimited money. Like, is there a solution to that?
Financial fair play for real.
But even that, though, right? I mean, if your club generates massive revenues, then you can spend massively compared to other clubs. I think you just have to hope to get lucky. We talked about the Clippers a couple of days ago with Steve Ballmer. He's a lunatic. He's an absolute lunatic, and he's great for the Clippers. The Clippers have some superstars. The Clippers. I mean, it's like we joke about Spurs.
Say it one more
this
time.
is like, I don't even know who to compare them to, because they'd be relegated, like based on another conversation we just had. But you get somebody like that, or somebody who has so much money, they want to have fun and enjoy it and engage as a fan. That's just so rare. Now, who else in sport do you see, especially in the U.S.? I don't know who else. Maybe Tepper, the owner of the Panthers, he really wants to spend money and see a winner.
Mark Cuban.
It's just so. Cuban is another one, but so okay, that's three in the major American leagues that we can think of off the top.
Yeah.
I just and Mark Cuban tried to buy into baseball and they wouldn't let him.
Yeah.
So
I was about to say Phil Knight and the University of Oregon, and then I was like, oh, right. No,
Same thing.
never mind.
That's fair. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and
How
that's,
about good coaching? I mean, we're all talking about the owners and spending big, but a few years ago, Monaco had an amazing team, right? Mbappe and Martial, they all played for Monaco, right? Pochettino, he took Spurs to the Champions League final without spending any money. Ferguson created a whole youth program with the Beckham, the Nevilles, Giggs, Butt, Scholes. Good coaching can take you a long way too, right?
True.
Well, just imagine City with great coaching and unlimited money, and you see the results.
yeah. How many great coaches are out there? Are there?
Well,
Less than 10.
well, define a great coach, right?
Well, you brought up great coaching can take you far, but I mean, how many realistic targets are there to bring in that to where we have enough to an entire league can survive on great coaching versus great
Klopp.
spending?
Pep, Zidane,
All right.
Simeone.
So you just sullied this whole conversation by saying Klopp.
Yeah.
So
And Zidane got there was an unceremonious ending his first go around at Real too. So it's everyone goes stale.
right.
except for Guardiola.
Right.
Oh, he's gone stale several places.
No,
He
all
can't
right.
beat his in-city rivals.
That's true. All right. So what else is going on? So we have talked this whole takeover thing to death. So what else has been going on this week? Any games?
There were
Actual
some games, right?
Games. There's actually soccer on TV.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, Spurs played.
Wait, who?
Spurs, not San Antonio.
Oh.
Tim Duncan wasn't there. It was
They didn't just play, they won.
we won. Yeah, we won.
I busted out the picture for you, Scott. You saw that?
I didn't. I'll have to look. I'll have to take a look. So I'll be honest with you guys. I was about to crap in my pants at halftime because the first half was. Did you watch it? I know it was like a mid-afternoon. The first half was bad, right? Like
Yep.
Southampton came out like animals, like they not going to let Ryan Mason have a good day. Like they were in, like they every tackle they came in, every 50-50 in the first half they came out of. They were first to the second ball. They won every header. I mean, I was like, oh God, like this is not going to be good.
Yeah.
Where's this new manager bounce?
I don't know if you actually were on Twitter and saw the tweet that I sent you, and because I was poking at Scott and
I saw it
another
late.
one of our fun followers, Brandon, partly because I have Kane in my fantasy team, and I had him triple captain this week, so I was is disappointed the right word? No,
A little hurt.
Pissed is the right word, because he wasn't even on the bench, like he didn't even make the team sheet, and I'm like, what's going on? But then I was watching the game, and I didn't. You watch that first half, you don't see a way back for Spurs.
No, I was horrified, honestly, and I was like, all right, what's going on here? Because you think about Mourinho and what we've talked ad nauseum about Mourinho, and
I try not to.
I'm done at this point. Eventually, once we wash the stink off, but the players have a little bit of this like post-traumatic, like I make a mistake, I might not play for 6 weeks. They're trying to shake that off, and it can be pervasive. And the first half was just bad. And apparently at halftime, he said, guys, just relax, take your time, pressure, and take your time with the ball. Came out in the second half. It was a totally different team in the second half. And the Bale finish for the goal was just like one of the reasons we brought him back. Like that finish was ridiculous.
So Southampton, I think, have been one of the teams that have in the second half of almost all their games fallen off. So
yeah, but so are we. So that was like, the battle of the giants of collapsing.
I still thought it was a pretty even game until Ings came off. Once Ings came off, Southampton had no outlet. They had no one to get the ball to, and you guys just kind of dominated them from that point on.
Well, we dominated the ball. I mean, and that's really what changed is the possession. So once Bale scored, what was great to me, I don't know if you guys saw, and there's no reason for you to pay as much attention as I did to it, but so Bale scored a great goal, and the team was celebrating, and Son ran over, and he's taken this leadership role that Kane usually takes, which is really makes me feel good that there's another player. And he's like, guys, quit this. It's tied. Like, we need to go win this game. Like he was like, guys, get out of this celebration nonsense. We're tying with Southampton. They've won like 2 matches since Christmas. Let's kick this thing off. And the player's like, oh yeah, let's go. And then there was the goal they called off from offside with VAR. I'm not sure if you guys saw that. Mora was like relatively around the keeper, which was total garbage in my opinion. The keeper was already diving the wrong direction.
Yeah, because he couldn't see the ball because there's a
No, he
player
was
in front of him.
No, he was diving. He was covering his other post. Like, Mora had nothing to do with it, but it didn't matter. We ended up securing the victory at the end with a late penalty. It felt very Bruno Fernandes, very Man United, the way that thing closed. You know, see, we jump in the Super League and then we start getting the right treatment from the officials. You know, like a potentially dodgy, was it a pen? Wasn't it a pen? Let's give it to them. They were going to be in the Super League. Like, UEFA's watching this.
Did they call that penalty on the handball or the tackle?
No, the handball was not, but it was a foul, a legitimate foul on the edge of the box, like right on the line.
Oh, I thought that was out of the box personally, but
Well, but technically the line is the box, so it was one of those where it could have gone either way, and I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, so that was the first time we won a match all season that we were trailing at halftime. First time. Like that's crazy. And what kind of feeds into that is after we scored the penalty, there was, I think there were like 10 more minutes of game time with stoppage time. Southampton didn't touch the ball in their attacking third after we scored the goal because Spurs pressure, like Mourinho has them sit back so much with a lead, but Mason had to press up and they were pressing the ball so much. Southampton didn't even touch it in their attacking third after we scored. And it was just good to see, you know, hunting the ball down, playing with some aggression, and should be interesting where it goes from here.
Another thing that was really good to see was honestly today's match. Leicester absolutely dominated West Brom. West Brom been one of the hottest teams, I would say, last month, 2 months. I mean, they've had no trouble scoring goals, multiple 3-goal games. Really looked like a team that is pushing to save itself. They're not. I mean, I don't think any of us think that they have a realistic shot of completing that save at this point. But yeah, Leicester came out and just completely dominated them. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch any of it at all, but it it was one of the most complete performances I think I've seen out of them, and I'm not 100% sure why. Like, there was nothing about today's game that is signaled any type of a need for a revival, except for the fact that maybe they've been average to below average lately, but extraordinarily balanced in the attack. I mean, they got a goal from Vardy, they got a goal from Inacho, and then I'm forgetting the name of the third person who got the goal.
Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans, yeah, and that Leicester can finish top 4, but that Leicester doesn't show up all season, and that's what their biggest problem always has been.
Well, I tweeted out maybe Rodgers. I mean, Vardy's been off lately, but I saw a stat that Iheanacho scored 11 goals in his last 8 games. So he's heating up, and you get Vardy firing at the right time. You know, he's such a streaky scorer. He can go out and just bang in, you know, goal after goal for 5-6 games in a row. So, you know, if they get him peaking at the right time, I mean, obviously they've got a tough schedule. I think they play Chelsea United to kind of end the season, but that was a big 3 points for them, especially with Liverpool and Chelsea both dropping points this week. So, you know, as the table currently stands, of course, City in first place with 77, United with 66, but Leicester opened up a 4-point gap over Chelsea at 59. Chelsea has 55, West Ham tied with 55. Spurs with 53, but with a game in hand, and Liverpool at 52, or 53. So it's a tight finish with not a lot separating, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, and I say they with Leicester's form the way it's been over the past month or so. I mean, realistically, United and Leicester were neck and neck for quite a while. And as a United fan, I think we were largely kind of concerned about whether or not second place was going to be ours, or what was going to happen in that realm. But then Leicester's form fell off significantly, and we had a great run of games. And so I mean, I would say second place is largely ours now. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but it's almost as much of a done deal as City's whatever
Title.
it is.
Their title.
I don't think I can say it out loud yet.
Title.
Whatever, Scott.
Title. My name is Skiff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it'll be an interesting finish to the season here coming up. I think Leicester have a pretty easy game at the weekend, so it should be good. I know Chelsea play West Ham, so that's a big game.
That's going to be huge. Honestly, that's probably I think that's the game that I'm most looking forward to this weekend, outside of our own chance to repeat the drubbing we had against Leeds back in December. So I'm pretty excited. There's some good games, but it's been this past weekend was a little rough for one of the teams, a team that I think we've all had kind of a soft spot for, and most people had great respect for Chris Wilder and the things that he's accomplished, and Christian's rolling his eyes as I sit here and wax poetic about Sheffield, who didn't muster up enough and were officially.
I said they were good down at the start of the season. I said Sheffield, West Brom.
You did.
To be fair, every one of us besides Scott said that they were going down.
Yeah.
So
I'm a romantic.
and everybody picked West Brom to go down. So, looking at the bottom of the table, right? West Brom with 24, Fulham with 27, and Burnley with 33. If Burnley win,
they're pretty safe.
They're looking pretty good at this point.
Yeah.
They would have 5 games left, and they would have to drop a lot of points, and Fulham would have to get at least 2 wins minimum, probably 2 wins and a tie out of the last 5. And based on form, probably not going to happen. Looks like the Fighting Scott Parkers are going down. Sorry, Jen.
It's okay.
Very sad. Very sad. But I mean, on the flip side, in the championship, Norwich secured their promotion really early. They were runaway leaders in the championship this season. So let's have a little chat here about who's next, who else is coming up. What do you guys think?
I thought it was interesting. Watford, Liverpool really wanted, I think his name is Ismaili Sarr, but Watford slapped a pretty high price tag on them. And I think we also wanted a left back out of Norwich. Max Aarons, I think is his name. Right back, sorry. But we wanted both those players from those squads, and both those teams held on to pretty much the majority of their squads, and I believe their coaches, right?
Yes.
So they're both coming back up.
Wait, I don't know if I thought Watford had a change in coach. Did they not?
They change every other week.
Okay, so it's I'm gonna mess this up. XISCO. Zisco.
Is he unleashing the dragon? Oh wait, no, they're the Mooses.
It's a guy from Spain. Is who their coach is. I don't. 40-year-old has also coached at. I'm not even gonna try and say that.
Yeah, so Watford aren't up yet, but all they need is 1 point out of their last 3. So it seems pretty likely that they'll be going up. Eric, who else? What's the situation look like in the championship? How's the third team get promoted?
All right, playoff.
Yeah. So 4, 5, what? Christian 4, 5, 6, 3, 4,
3,
5,
4,
and
5, 6. Yeah.
They play.
I was expecting Eric to enlighten us a little bit more.
Yeah.
I just want to say, by the way,
I don't know why you're calling me like I'm some championship guru. I don't know.
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs.
Watford are the Hornets. They're not a moose. Like their badge is a moose, but they are the Hornets. I know that's random, but the Watford Hornets.
All
Oh,
right,
is that
all
why
right,
I said
Auburn.
Moose?
Yeah, I was like, they're the Auburn of
They
English.
have a friggin' moose as
They
their
do.
logo.
They
Like,
do.
who the hell? Hornet moose? Like, all right, Auburn.
Sorry, I just had to clear that up.
That's the third or fourth animal-related thing that Skiff has said in the last week that I've just ignored. I think I feel like we just move on now whenever Skiff mentions an animal.
It's
All right.
hurtful.
So currently in the championship, we have Bournemouth third, Swansea fourth, Brentford fifth, and Barnsley sixth. So if it all holds, then Bournemouth will play Barnsley and Swansea will play Brentford in the semi-finals.
Okay, so last year Swansea and Brentford were both in the playoff, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then Bournemouth, Watford, and Norwich were the three that got relegated last year. Okay.
Yep.
So Barnsley's the new one. We haven't seen them recently.
Skiff, why are Barnsley
haven't-
doing so well?
Barnsley are being fired towards the playoffs by Mr. Daryl Dyke, who is on loan from Orlando City FC, American-born 20-year-old
Nice.
striker. Yeah, he scored his 9th goal of the season this week. So,
An overhead kick.
yes, an
Nice.
overhead kick.
Nice.
I would love to see Barnsley and Brentford fight it out for that promotion.
Yeah, so
Why?
I like the way Brentford run the club, and I like DK from Barnsley.
Where is Barnsley?
Why'd you roll? Hold on, no. Why'd you
located?
roll your eyes?
Yorkshire. They're in Yorkshire.
Oh, okay.
Barnsley.
Okay.
Yeah, if
Brentford
it wasn't for
and-
Daryl DK, I wouldn't care. I just think he's fun to watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Swansea's a Welsh team,
Mhm.
right?
That's right.
Okay.
Tired
Okay.
of Swansea.
So if we have Brentford, they have a new stadium, right? They're in London. They haven't been in the Premier League before. Swansea have, Barnsley have, Bournemouth have. So maybe it might be nice to have someone new in there. But they'll also go straight down.
Probably. Well, they
already.
have.
He's
they
already
could-
calling it.
They could generate some revenue from player sales though, and try to keep themselves up if they really wanted to. They've done a good job in recruitment. They're the bees, Skiff, by the way. They're not a moose. They're not a cow, not an elk. They're the bees.
cool.
So Barnsley was the first away game that I ever went to.
Awesome.
I know.
Did you lose?
I was actually watching Oldham Athletic. And,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think Oldham won 2-0, I think. But it was cold. It's cold in Yorkshire. It's not great.
So there's 3 games left in the championship, and if Reading pick up a win, they basically if Barnsley pick up a win, they're basically in. Theoretically,
Okay.
mathematically, it's
Okay.
likely. So we'll announce it when it comes out. I don't see. Do you guys see Stoke City in top 6? I know we've got a big Stoke City fan list.
13. They're sitting at number 13.
Oh, poor PJ Noel.
PJ Noel. Sorry,
You know,
bud.
decision making is important as a life skill.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how you become a Stoke fan. PJ, I'm sorry. If somebody made
Back
you
to
do this,
that conversation about the romantic connection between your team and the history and stuff. So
No, I
but
think
can
what
you be
actually,
romantically connected to Stoke?
Yeah, my niece is a Stoke fan.
I think what
Yeah.
happened
Is your niece English?
So?
Yeah, but she's got an excuse. She's English. PJ's not.
But she's from Manchester.
I-
It's a different planet.
actually,
does she not get Christmas presents anymore? Like now, like she's, I mean, it'd be like, yeah.
She was a
Okay.
Stoke fan early. She didn't get them at like the age of 3.
Oh, okay.
Cost saving. Sounds like FSG.
PJ
But
actually,
as an American, it's kind of weird just to pick that out of a hat, or I don't know how he came about it. But
I can tell you exactly how he did it. He was listening to like a soccer podcast or announcement or something, watching Barcelona, and somebody said, "Can Messi do it at a cold night at Stoke?" And he said,
Winning
"Well,
night at
Stoke must be this great team, so I'm gonna pick them," and
I'll be
that's
a
why he
Stoke
picked
fan.
them as his team. So at least
All
he's
right.
got some connect.
Is that a true story? That would be
No.
amazing. If it was a true story, wouldn't it?
You know
PJ
what?
Noel-
If it wasn't the story, it is now.
Right.
That would be awesome.
PJ Knoll, hit us on Twitter. Tell us what the real story is. Why you're a Stoke fan.
He's also a really big Orlando City fan, so he's been rooting for Daryl DK as well, which is gonna,
Yes,
I'm
yep.
sure is
That's
fun
cool.
and hard at the same time. But I have a little personal soft spot for Reading. A very very good friend of mine is a massive Reading supporter, and I know that they've been on hard times for the better part of, I don't know, his entire life. So it's if they can win promotion back to the Premier League, that would be great for him, and I would love to see that. Only to then, of course, see them get relegated, because that's funny.
All right, Scott, I'm setting a timer. Siri, set a timer for 5 minutes. Talk about the Carabao
That's 4
Cup.
minutes too long.
Talk about it. Get off. You have a chance to win a trophy. Give your 5-minute synopsis. That's all you get. Go on.
Well, I'll do a too long didn't read for this. I think City are going to win. So just to be clear. Now, a few reasons why they might not. One, the John Stones red card it was a straight red he got this week. So Stones, since it's an FA sanctioned tournament, he will be suspended for the Carabao Cup final, even though it's not a league match. So, but I mean, it's just another 50 million pound defender and Laporte coming in. So it's not like some scrub like Eric Dyer or something. So that's one thing. And City, haven't been on the same run that they were on earlier in the season, which means they're just pretty good instead of, running all over the
Yeah.
right. So it's not like they're garbage now. So I don't really know what to expect from this. And the good thing is I don't think Pep's going to know what to expect out of Mason, so he's not going to have some weird formation that puts us in a little box. I think that Kane will be back. I think Dele may start. I think Bale will start, and we'll see. I think KDB will probably be back. I'm not sure if he'll be fit or not. And one thing too is, if I'm not mistaken, you guys can correct me. I think the Champions League kicks back up next week. So
none of us are
For
in
some
it.
of the teams,
We wouldn't know.
Yeah, it starts next week.
That wasn't a dig. We've been out for so long.
mine was a dig.
So what they may be with an eye towards that. I mean, who cares? They won the Carabao Cup, like 5 of the last 8 years or something. So, they're desperate for the Champions League. They're not desperate for another Carabao Cup. So could be that they rest some players. I don't know. I mean, I think it'll be probably an entertaining match to watch. Like I said, Mason might let in 5 and score 4. Who knows? But I have no expectations. Thinking about being Ryan Mason and your second match in charge is a cup final against Pep Guardiola. That's a tall order.
Did you guys beat City, or at least tied and beat them this year already?
We beat them in the first match. It was a yield smash and grab job. And we could do that again, if Mason's not going to want to do that.
Do you not remember? That was when all the Spurs fans were waxing lyrical about that they didn't care that Jose Mourinho packed the bus every game as long as they got points.
That was when the defense was good.
What stage of grief is that?
No, that wasn't grief.
There was no grief.
That was when they were pro Mourinho. Especially Brandon, man. They were all over this.
That was acceptance, because there was a decent defense. And then about 2 weeks later, the defense went in the garbage disposal, and so did everything else. You're right, though. I mean, that was right at the time. I remember the podcast we recorded before that match. I said that I wasn't afraid to play anybody in the league at that point, because the defense was very stout. We were compact. It was hard to play against us. And then that went just nasty.
You got a minute 30. What else?
No,
you
I'm
got?
done. I'm done. I think we're probably going to lose. I think they're going to try hard. They'll get their orange slices and their Capri Suns, and we'll probably get a second place medal that they'll throw in the trash can.
Anybody here picking Tottenham win? Eric, Jim?
I am. I'm going for Tottenham 100%.
You know what? I will too.
Oh, that's a kiss of death right there.
Thanks.
That's coming from the two people who are at the bottom of the league in our pick'em standings. So,
Spurs win in penalties.
Third to last place in our pick here.
Eric, is that a
City
no?
win. City win.
Eric, what you got?
He might be frozen.
Eric's frozen. Look at his face.
Oh.
He's
Do we
just
get to
staring.
pick for him?
I
Do we
don't
get to
think
pick for him?
so. I think he's thinking about it.
No, we get to pick for him. Where are we putting him, y'all?
Oh, he picked City.
Yeah, he already picked City. So
Okay.
all right.
Fine. Whatever.
And he's
Fine.
back. That is magical. Eric, who are you picking?
That was a great pick.
So, I had some North Carolina internet problems, guys. I'm sorry. Even though I'm in Florida, I don't know, but no, I'm back. For what match? I'm sorry, I missed it.
City.
City,
Carabao
top-
Oh, I already said City.
When did you say that?
He said it.
In the
Early.
beginning, when he said Eric, Jen, who do you like? And I said City.
Are you frozen?
All right.
Can't hear you. What? The interference?
Well, I'm not picking against Eric because he's in first place in our pick 'em with 62. Scott
Nice.
with 53, closing the gap. 9 back with 5 games left. Not impossible. I went ahead and had the best week from last week with 51, so I'm in third place. Charles in fourth with 50. Jen, you started at the bottom. Now you're above Christian with 49. Christian last with 48. Wow.
Oh, you make it sound like okay. Yeah. No.
Oh,
Okay.
how far ahead is Eric?
Eric
lot.
is not 9 points up with 5 games left.
Oh, nice.
Oh God.
Hey, Christian.
I
Form
picked
is
from
temp-
I picked from
Form
the
is
heart,
temporary. Form is
know, right?
temporary. Class is forever. Don't worry
For
about it.
sure.
We'll be back.
for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, Eric had a hot run there where he was pulling ahead of Scott, but over the last 4 weeks, Scott's been reeling them back in. So,
Dun, dun, dun.
well, speaking of reeling them in, I think Charles reeled in the points lead of the week in fantasy. Eric, what do we
Yeah.
got standing wise?
He did. Standing wise, yeah, we have a new leader here. We're going to go top 5, 5-1 with the manager's name, the team name, the weekly total, and the grand total. So for the season, so at week or spot 5, White Hart Kenny, managed by Thomas Soligarier, had 52 points this week for 1,871 total. 4, Stedman United, managed by Cyan Stedman, had 41 points for game week 32 for a total of 1,921. In third position, Inkart, managed by Sushant Mane, had 35 game week points for game week 32 for 1,926. In second place, our very own Scott Mackey, Well-Hyung 5 ATB, had 75 week 32 points for a total of 1,931. And in first place, first in our hearts of Man United fans everywhere, Win Basaka, Charles Reed, our very own Charles Reed, had 76 game week 32 points for a total of 1,948.
I can't believe I gave you the triple Captain Kane tip.
Massive changes I made, and it paid off. It was worth it.
1 point.
Yeah, 1 point this week, but I mean, I was what 8-9 points behind Sushant Mane, and now I'm 22 points ahead of him. So
Well, can we just say though, as a podcast twosome, we are starting to dominate and separate ourselves.
killing it.
You are.
The class is clearly being shown. The cream is rising to the top.
it's
It's
there and it's not going away.
we're just going to stop toying with our food here at this point and just separate.
Time to end
There's
it.
going to be next season. There's going to be a fantasy super league of me and Charles, and then you guys can do your own league.
Okay.
It's going to be great for fantasy. It's going to be great for all levels of fantasy. It's really going to build you guys will benefit from our super league.
And we'll start a women's super league fantasy too, and we'll give you guys all the money and no problem.
Wow.
Just not going to say a thing.
Wow.
You shouldn't. You
Carry
could
on,
ask your
boys.
mom. You could ask your mom. She could give us some input on the
I'll
fantasy.
give you some
'cause
fantasy tips.
She's killing it. Yeah.
That she is.
All right,
That's
so
not,
the
that's
weekend
not a your mom
matches.
joke, by the way, because her mom is in our fantasy league and is doing well.
She
Oh.
actually is.
So big week of matches. We'll go from start at the bottom, right? Little Wolves versus Burnley. Burnley with a win here can really pull themselves out of the bottom 3. So fighting Nuno's, maybe next coach of Tottenham. What do you guys think here? Wolves, Burnley, Charles.
Nuno auditioning for his future role. I think he honestly, I think he goes out there and puts a hurting on Burnley. I think that I don't think Burnley have what it takes to get rid of any questions about whether or not they stay up just yet. That's going to be a 3-1 Wolves. Yeah.
Jen, you gonna pick against the Wolves?
Well, all right. So what are they? How are they looking injury wise? Because they were pretty kind of struggle bus for a while. How are they doing?
I think they're back.
Are they?
Everybody but Jimenez is back.
Well, okay. We know why he's.
Is he good to go for next year? I love watching him play.
Looks like it.
Okay.
So Neto's
Let's assume
still injured. Neves is still injured. Johnny's still injured.
Well,
Marcal's still injured.
look at everything I just said being wrong.
Okay.
This is,
So despite that, I'll still go with Wolves. Like I think they,
what would have had to happen for you to pick Burnley? Is like
Eric,
Traore, you know what I mean? Like if they had run out of like the
okay.
baby
Baby
oil
oil,
or something
yeah.
like that. Yeah. Maybe.
So I'm just now seeing this. I didn't know about this. Apparently, Pedro Neto is going to be having surgery. He has suffered a fracture to his kneecap. And is going to undergo
Ooh.
surgery. He's out 6 months. So
Oi.
I was unaware
Okay.
of this injury. So I thought he was just still recovering from his last little thing.
Okay.
Eric,
Well, upon hearing all that news, I'm gonna go 1-0 Burnley.
Scott.
the manager auditioning for his next job is going to win, but it's Dyche auditioning for Palace.
Wow.
Burnley.
What?
Burnley. Write it down.
Yo,
I see your face,
we gotta-
Christian. Write it down. Burnley.
We got to
Christian?
figure out how to get Fulham to stay up. And the way that they do that is by Burnley going down.
It's
Okay,
not
fine.
happening.
No, it's not
Whatever.
happening. So
Okay, whatever. Fine.
Romance is dead, Jen. Haven't you been paying attention this week?
Yeah, come on.
I'm gonna go with a draw.
Okay.
I will go with
Acceptable.
I'll go with the Wolves. Another bottom-ish team, Arsenal versus Everton, who have a game in hand. Big game for Arsenal. They could make the
Ooh.
third league, Champions League thing that we don't really care about. They've been pretty decent lately. Eric, Arsenal, Everton.
Give me. I don't like this one at all. Give me Arsenal 2-1.
Charles.
Ouch.
Draw 3-3. Neither
Oh,
team has a standout defense at the moment, and both have shown some level of attacking prowess at times. And Arsenal are upset about their most recent performance.
Is Everton's coach back next year, or does he dip?
I think he's back.
No, I think he's still there.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
I thought I saw rumors that, I mean, it's Twitter for God's sakes, but take it for what it's worth. But I thought I saw rumors that he wanted out after this year.
I doubt it. I mean, there's
Oh,
all kinds of
doubt it.
money to spend.
Yeah.
And they're
Alright.
building a new
Everton.
stadium. They got their new stadium approved on the waterfront.
Yeah,
it'll be a
that I've
fun
heard
project.
for the past 15 years.
Whereabouts, Gift? You know?
I think it's close to City Center. I don't
Oh,
know
wow.
exactly where, but it's right on the water. It looks
They're
very
Bramley
good.
Dock, I think.
Scott-
By the dock. Wow, that is prime location right there. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
A
that's what I've
plus.
heard. But they've been, like I said, they've been talking about it for years. So I'll believe it when I see it. But
You're not actually gonna pick Arsenal, are you?
I feel it's for the top 4 race.
For those who can't see this, who aren't watching it on our YouTube channel, Scott just threw up in his mouth a little bit.
Yeah. For top 4, I would. Can I abstain and just say David Luiz will score the winner for somebody? Can I do that?
To be fair, we still don't know who that's for.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I can pick for you.
No,
pick for me.
I think what it is if he doesn't score the winner, like he just doesn't get any points. But if he does score the winner, then he
you
gets
got to
the
give me.
points.
Hold on, you got to give me odds on that.
Ah.
That's like
Eric,
100
You're
to
the
1.
one that did it. You're the one that said it.
Draw.
What's wrong with
Draw.
you?
Eric picked Arsenal, so you don't want to pick them.
Draw.
I
That's
picked a
so
draw
gross.
also.
It's disgusting.
Christian.
So on Thursday next week, Arsenal have a massive game against Villarreal in the Europa League semi-final. So this may be a look-ahead game because I'm sure they'll have focused on how Villarreal play and that's what they would have been focusing on this week in training. So I'm going to go with Everton for a win.
Jen,
Ooh.
last to pick, first in our hearts.
I like how that changes so much. I'm gonna, oh God, I draw. Just draw. That's fine.
Leeds United, the hated rivalry. Charles, your boy's gonna do it? War of the Roses?
What's that face for?
That question?
Oh, okay. I was like,
All right.
Just move on. You know my answer.
Jen,
Leeds.
Manchester United.
Eric,
United.
I'm gonna go with a draw. I think United might be looking ahead to next week also. They've been red hot. But Leeds have been playing decently. They tied Liverpool, they beat City, so this isn't like a easy out for them. I know, Christian, you're picking United, so Scott, who are you picking?
No. Christian, who are you picking? Because I'm curious what wins out here.
It's going to be like 5-6-0 United.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was the reverse jinx or
No,
the
absolutely
never
not.
leads. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So
Never.
I'm like making receipts of the hierarchy for you. Okay, I got it.
No,
I'm
yeah, go ahead, Scott. Sorry.
Leeds for sure.
Yeah, see, United set the bar back in December, and now they have goals to accomplish.
McTominay is not scoring too.
I didn't say it was going to be McTominay scoring. I said that I was talking about the score line, not who scored.
You know how crazy it is that McTominay scored 2 that quickly? I remember where I was when that happened.
It's a moment in time to be always remembered.
Yeah.
This magic moment.
Nick Sauce.
And the
So
singing
Skiff gonna
begins.
sing again this week.
Yeah.
Liverpool versus Newcastle. Liverpool desperately need the points. Newcastle kind of with nothing to play for. Unlikely they're getting relegated. So Curtis
Yeah.
Jones back in training for Liverpool. Big boost for them, potentially.
However,
I'm
I did hear today that Jota's probably injured, so there you go. You take the Lord taketh, and the Lord giveth one away.
Why are you so negative, Eric?
That,
Just be happy.
It's just facts.
it's all right.
I didn't cause him to get hurt. I'm just telling you what I heard.
So
Bob-
just let you know, God takes away, he doesn't give away.
I heard
So anyway.
I heard Boston got a new relief pitcher, Eric.
That's
How does
what
that
I've heard
make you
too.
feel?
Well, they're in first, so
Oh, Eric, what do you got?
Priorities, right?
I'm picking Newcastle.
draw
Oh,
2-2.
stop.
Oh my God.
Jen,
Liverpool? What's wrong
Charles?
with you?
I want to hear Christian's answer first.
This will be the easiest game Liverpool have played in 6 days.
Scott,
Considering there's only one actual number 9 playing in this match, I'm gonna go with Newcastle.
Oh,
Charles.
Liverpool 6-0.
Thank you.
So the biggest game of the week with top 4 implementations. Jeez,
Nice.
good word, Skiff. West Ham
That's
versus
a true
Chelsea.
Liverpool fan.
Yeah. I've been talking too much. The Adderall's wearing off, guys. West Ham versus Chelsea. Big game coming up for them. Chelsea have been pretty hot lately, other than their tie. How do you see this one going, Eric?
Wait, can I ask you a question before we talk? When do Chelsea play in their semi-final? Tuesday or Wednesday?
Good question. Let me
Because I
check.
think this depends on the team that he puts out against West Ham.
So their next game, it just says after that Monday, May
Tuesday.
3rd.
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
Oh, why is it not part of this?
So they play West Ham Saturday?
I believe
And then-
so.
Tuesday, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yes. So Saturday at 12:30 Eastern.
What I can tell you is West Ham will have about 18% of the ball because Tuchel will know that and set it out that way. Draw.
Eric?
It's a tough one. Like Charles said, it's gonna be the match that I want to see. Match of the week. I'm gonna go like Scott. I'm gonna go draw.
This is like picking between UEFA and FIFA, by the way.
Charles, what do you think?
Declan Rice and Mikel Antonio are still out. for West Ham, which definitely weakens their chances of performing at any high level. Although Messi Lingard has been a revelation for West Ham. Most likely scenario, given Chelsea's inconsistency with scoring, is a draw 2-2.
Christian?
So big games like this usually we evolve around which defense is better, right? And I think Chelsea's defense is much, 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 much better than West Ham's. So I think, and Tuchel is a very defensive minded manager. So I think Chelsea nick it 1-0.
I'm going to pick Chelsea also. And Jen?
Can they both lose? Like that'd be best.
I agree.
Me too.
I love the stream of consciousness that we get. Like, this is a live pick for you every time. It's so
yeah.
real. Yeah.
And I don't know if you can feel the angst that I'm okay, so we've had Chelsea picked, we've had ties, right? We've had draws.
Yep.
So nobody's picked West Ham.
Nope.
Sure, I'll pick West Ham. It's fine, whatever.
Disgusted.
Oh, Eric, bringing in the closer. Boston signed their new relief pitcher. You're going to come in the 9th inning after blowing a save that he blew. What we got? Close us out.
Well, lots of managers at every level, substitutions, in the 60th, 70th minute, whether it's strategy or whether it's fitness or whether it's just, fatigue. But very few people, managers, take their players off in 22 minutes. But Bob Bradley did just that with the LAFC match last Saturday. It was against Austin FC. So we took off a great player, Carlos Villa, 22 minutes off the match, and he looked like he was straining himself, reaching for a ball in the box about 20 minutes in. And he looked a little hobbled, so he quickly took him off. It gave him the quick hook. He got a little bit of treatment, and then he's howling at him to come back in. And he's walking around the sidelines. He's 100% fine, but as you know, in our beautiful game, he can't come back in. And he said the press conference afterwards, that's totally my bad, my fault. I just subbed him out too quickly, and I totally regret it. And they went on to lose the game. So the kid got the hook in 22 minutes. Villa's a great player too, so he didn't get to go back in, and that was that. So.
My former boss, who was a highly licensed and highly respected coach, would call that a teachable moment. Pulling him off like that.
Well, Bradley's an experienced manager, though.
He's like
very.
He's like 700 years old, and he's pretty terrible.
I mean, look at his son. His son is 350.
Yeah, his son is like the most quagmire player that he has moments of such brilliance, and then sometimes you're just like, what the are you doing, dude? We're not going down this rabbit hole. We're going to end this episode. Thank you for joining us for 5+1 at the back. We'll see you guys all next week. Thanks for listening.